Hello, I'm Amara Jones, and today is Friday, August 7th. This is Caffeine TV, your daily news brief, here to take you through 3 headline numbers in just 3 minutes, giving you a different take on everything from housing policy to the Real Housewives. Just a programming note, we'll be off on Monday. The first number up today is 130, as in 130 minutes. That's for how long Republican presidential candidates held forth last night in their first debate. Now, in our preview of it, we said that the Republican presidential race was a little bit like a clown car, and last night we got the full circus. Now, not surprisingly, the ringleader of it all was Donald Trump, who, in response to a question from Megyn Kelly about disparaging comments that he'd made about women, having called them fat and animals and dogs and the like, said that he only said that about Rosie O'Donnell, to which the audience groaned. That was followed up by a comment from former governor of Arkansas, Mike Huckabee, that the reason why Social Security was being run into the ground was because of, quote, pimps and prostitutes, close quote, who were, quote, freeloading off the system, close quote. And then that was rounded out by the current governor of Chris Christie turning to Senator Rand Paul and saying that he was, quote, full of hot air, close quote. But Donald Trump, wanting to pile on to Senator Rand Paul, who wears a hearing aid, turning to him and saying, "Are you having trouble hearing me?" Close quote. Now, one of the problems, as we spoke about before, was last night's format with so little time and so many candidates. The responses were bound to be around 146 characters, meaning that they were going to border on the juvenile and the asinine. But last night's debate, like any circus, while you're watching it, might be explosive and entertaining, but afterwards you wonder just what in the hell happened. The next number of today is 1, as in first place. Now, that's where Donald Trump came into last night's Republican presidential debate at the top of the polls, but last night he might have lost it. Now, that's not only due to the insults and the bombast that we've spoken about before, but also in a key moment where Fox moderators at the top of the program asked those on stage to raise their hand if they would consider mounting a third-party challenge should they lose the Republican Party nomination, and the only person to do so was Donald Trump. Now, according to a Fox News audience meter, that was when he lost the debate. Another difficult moment is when Megyn Kelly asked him, quote, "When did you become a Republican?" close quote, and he struggled to answer. Now, according to that same audience meter, the person who did the best, or among the best last night, was Dr. Ben Carson, but interestingly, he said among the least of those on stage last night, so maybe the only way to have won the Republican Party nomination debate last night is to have said next to nothing. The last number up today is 16 and relates to John Kasich, who, out of 17 candidates, was the next to the last to declare his candidacy, perhaps putting him at a disadvantage. But last night, he might have turned that disadvantage around. Now, not only did the debate take place in the state where he is governor, Ohio, but he was the only person the whole night to use the word hope and to respond to every single question with a positive, upbeat message. Now, it's a truism of American politics generally that the person that wins the presidency is the most positive with the most upbeat message, but according to analysis by Fox News of the audience that watched last night, they liked the candidates that were among the most negative, like Senator Ted Cruz and former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, and that just underscores the growing gap between the Republican Party and the rest of America.